Hello, everyone. And welcome once again to my safe Gayven TGI Friday. My light's not working. Battery died. Whatever. We're still going. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to do a whole full-on long introduction and things like that because, co-hosts got places to be. So we can't be on here too long. So we're just gonna jump up on in it. So yeah, let's bring on Ron from You Don't Read Comics.
What's up?
Hey, what's good with you? I see we got people in the stream already. How you doing, guys? But yeah, just in case for the people that are here, because again, it seems like every week it's somebody's first live stream.
Oh, that's dope. I mean that you keep getting new people though.
Yeah, that's good. But just in case, right now we only got 5 people. But just in case one of those 5 was somebody new that's never been here before, introduce yourself really quick.
My name is Ron. I run a website called You Don't Read Comics. I cover news, mostly reviews of all the comic books that come up every week, every Wednesday. They drop comic books come out every Wednesday. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, dropping memes. You can find me on Twitter too. Just Google You Don't Read Comics.
Yep, and I have his website in the description below. Definitely check his website out. And also, if you're feeling a little generous, I have his Cash App down there as well. Woo. So make sure to check that out. But so with that, if you couldn't tell from the title of this episode, we are blowing our full load from episode 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier called The Spangled Man. So if you have not seen The Spangled Man, get on up out of here. I love you for being here, but if you don't want to be spoiled, because I don't want to hear oh, dang, I know you was talking spoilers. It says it in the title. Or if you don't care about spoilers, you're welcome to stay. This chat, even though it's going to be a conversation between Ron and I, it is a live discussion here on YouTube. That means I want you guys in the chat. I want you guys in the comments. I'm going to be paying attention to it as much as I can. But depending on how many people show up and everything like that, if there's a lot of people or whatever, or even if there's not, but if there's a comment or question or thing that you want to get out to us, it is not expected, but it is greatly appreciated. If you really want to leave a super chat on the channel, it is the lifeblood of the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. Again, it's not expected, but it is appreciated. So, yes, we are going to dive into it. I see you, Dust Daughters, because I'm ready. Yeah, I'm like, yes, let's get into this next because I got a lot to say, and I know you got a lot to say too. So, yeah, like I said, we're not going to lollygag too much because I know you got stuff to do. So let's just jump right in. Let's jump in it. So, Ron, yeah, what were your thoughts on this? This second episode.
It's crazy. I think I'm greedy because I keep saying, "Oh, Disney's not gonna go there," but then they go there, and then I want more. I'm like, "Well, y'all ain't go hard enough. Y'all ain't go further enough."
Right? I'm like, come on, man.
But they definitely went there, and they definitely giving us a lot. I see my comic book collection skyrocketing after this episode too.
Well, I mean, didn't you already say Truth, Red, White, and Black is
like I did say that. Y'all should be getting that, but now it's probably too late. After today's episode, it's too late.
Yeah, it's definitely too late. So, as soon as they name drop Isaiah Bradley, you know that thing probably gonna be out of stock. Isaiah Bradley, what? And it's not like he's been in like multiple things. So yeah. That's just probably already like at least 500.
Yeah, but I'm glad they brought that character. I didn't think they were gonna go there for, but they did, and I'm elated about it.
Yeah, but overall about the episode, would you?
It was the best episode, the best Disney Plus episode. I can't speak about it objectively because it's like a personal subject matter to me in general, just being a Black combat veteran and dealing with some of the things that Sam is going through.
Wait a minute. You Black?
Word, right?
I ain't know that.
Yeah, like I said, and having personally dealt with some of the things Sam was going through, it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like one of the best things I've seen on television. It was a really, really solid episode.
Yeah, I completely agree. And just like what you were saying, like I keep thinking Mark, because I mentioned this in my earlier episode that I did my spoiler review by myself. I was just like, yeah, I keep thinking Disney's not going to give it to me because, I mean, really, if you think about it, in many instances throughout history, Disney has been the perpetrator of a lot of racism.
Exactly. Until they made Black Panther and realized they could make a whole bunch of money on it. So
yeah, I'm like, Song of the South, anyone? Like, so
yeah.
The fact that they're going here, I'm just like, wait, Disney, the mouse? Are you serious? The same company that made Dumbo with them racist ass crows?
Facts, them racist ass crows.
But I think it just goes to show, and of course you don't know what you don't know because Damon Lindelof is a white man, and he was in charge of Watchmen, and that was very, very black.
Yeah.
But how often does that happen? But so I think it's but for the strength of the fact that this show is ran by a black man.
Yeah.
That we're really getting into these topics because if it was ran by anybody else, we probably wouldn't be getting into it. But let's get into it right here. So let's talk about the very beginning of the episode. Let's address this. Dust Daughters, thank you so much for always coming through for your boy. Who is the whitest white man in this episode? John Walker or Bucky Barnes?
Yo, but Bucky,
you gotta give it to John. I gotta give it to John.
Yeah, definitely John. John doesn't recognize what's going on at all. Bucky kind of realizes what's going on, but he's not doing enough. It's like when you say somebody is like not racist, but you need them to be anti-racist. I need Bucky to be more anti-racist.
Yeah,
like, he's cool.
Right now, Bucky's being not racist.
He's not racist. Bucky's not racist, but I need him to be anti-racist.
Yeah, like you an assassin, bro. Like, I'm gonna need you to assassinate racism. The whole system.
Yeah.
Like you the Winter Soldier. How about be the anti-racist soldier?
Yeah.
But yeah, for that particular question, I say the whitest white man is still U.S. agent, who I'm gonna refer to him because hashtag not my Captain America.
Yeah. He got superpowers though.
At least, well, I don't think he does in this episode. Based on the way he was moving in this episode.
You didn't see all that white privilege?
Oh well, well, of course, that's the greatest superpower. Oh yeah, that's the superpower that I wouldn't even be able to comprehend. They all got that shit.
Yeah.
But let's talk more about his superpower in the beginning of this episode because he don't just have some white privilege. He got like the Negro song. You know how they got like the siren call?
Yeah. Where
people get hypnotized or whatever. He got like the Negro call because you get to the beginning of this episode and it seemed like he done held up the Negro ring or whatever, calling out all the shucking and jiving Negroes because at the beginning of this episode, he got the black girlfriend. He got the black best friend. He got a whole fucking HBCU march.
They're trying to make him be okay. He's okay. He's cool. You know, he's cool. I invited Tom to the cookout. He's all right. Oh, I just call him by his real name, John. I invited him to the cookout. It's all right. He's good. He knows how to play spades.
That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like he had he stumbled upon somebody cookout and it was just like, oh yeah, John, he's one of us. He's one of the ones that can say the N-word because
exactly.
I'm just like
exactly. And the problem with you inviting that dude to the cookout because that same dude, even if that dude isn't racist, he's usually not anti-racist.
Yeah.
So therein lies the problem.
But knowing what we know from the comics, this is John Walker. We know he's not a not racist or an anti-race. Granted, they're probably not going to go back.
Yeah, good.
They're probably not going to go that far with this version of John. And even in the comics, they kind of toned it down a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not as bad as he was like when he first started. But I mean, comics also isn't as bad with like Kitty Pryde saying nigga. Like that shit would never happen today.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. So yeah, they definitely toned him down a little bit. But yeah, I kind of noticed that immedately. Like as soon as his girlfriend came, I'm like, oh, so he got a black girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is. I saw the name Hotskin. I was like, oh, this is gonna be Battlestar.
They're definitely not going that route with him making him a racist. He probably is conservative, but he's not a racist. And in the sense of bigotry and like outward, you know, he's probably like the racist who doesn't know that he's a racist. You know, I mean, never mind. Yeah, but I'm just trying to break it down, you know,
Because I was gonna say well, fuck it. This is my live stream. I'm like, isn't that like all white people basically?
No, because a lot of them are fucking racist.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, a lot of them are racist, but
yeah.
The ones that aren't racist, they all racist,
They
but don't realize they got
micro white successfy.
Yeah,
without being
they got microaggressions that they're not trying to unpack.
Exactly.
Because it's more worse to be called racist than it is to deal with your racist behavior.
Exactly.
Because like we all
the racist behavior of your peers.
Yeah, or your family members.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, oh, it's my grandmother. She old. Like, you forgive motherfucker, because then I got to deal with her racist ass when I see her walking down the street. So fucking call it out, because it's no harm to you. It's harm to me.
Yeah. Shout out to all my white friends that aren't gonna be my white friends after this, and shout out to the ones who still are my white friends
if you white and you triggered by it, then you exactly the problem. But if you white and you like, you know how to say it, a hit dog will holler. If you feel hit, then that means I hit a nerve, and if I hit a nerve, that means you need to do the work. Because
for real.
Real quick, like advertising is a multi-billion-dollar industry for a reason, because it works. We're constantly advertised with anti-blackness every single day. So if you're not, especially if you're not part of that group, part of being black, you have to, not literally every day, but you have to constantly work to deprogram and decolonize your mind.
And other people.
Yeah, and other people. But it starts with Michael Jackson. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. You got to make that change.
Yeah.
But it seems like the government is trying to make that change with not having a black Captain America. So yeah, they touted out the full.
And you see how they brought. I think it's really great that they brought in Battlestar too, Battlecoon.
When you said Battlecoon in that text, when you sent me that text, I fell the fuck out.
Because that's exactly what the government would do. They would it's cool. He has a black girlfriend. We're not gonna give you a black Captain America, but he has a black girlfriend. He has a black friend sidekick, just like the original Cap. It's cool, right? It's cool. Nah.
Yeah, guys. For those of you that don't know, his black best friend, Hoskins. I can't think. Lamar Hoskins. The one that was
black ass name too, Lamar.
Yeah, I mean that's my middle name. but mine is spelled his is spelled like real black. His is spelled Lemar. Mine is spelled LA, like how it's pronounced. Lamar.
Yeah, yours is like French. His is like black.
His black. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, his black best friend, his new Bucky and Sam, he is a character in the comics named Battlestar. Originally, he took on the mantle of Bucky because Captain America always has to have a Bucky, but then he changed his name because the context of a black man going by Buck. So he stopped going by Battlestar and he started going by Bucky. I mean, he started going by Battlestar, and they're both sidekicks or whatever, and they both have powers in the comics. And so yeah, Battlestar. So now because he's working with this conservative white man, now he's Battlecoon.
Facts.
But yeah, so they rolled out the red or the white carpet for this man. They had what's her face? What was that reporter that they had interviewing him? She looked familiar.
I don't know. They might as well have Beyonce performing. Like
they might as well. Like I said, I would have been mad if I saw that was FAMU at that performance, because that's my alma mater.
Yeah,
but it was probably inspired by it. But yeah, like the signal was going like calling all Negroes. Yeah,
but they paid him. I can imagine if this was real, there'd be a whole bunch of black people saying, "Why isn't Falcon Captain America?" If you're gonna pass it on to somebody like because he's prevalent. He's still out there doing work. So,
and I got my Falcon. I don't even know which way to point. My Falcon and Winter Soldier back there, my little shield. But yeah, they of course they definitely all got paid. And then funny enough, like I don't know if you noticed, but and this is something I didn't notice until after the fact.
This is like what's her name? Hold on. What's her name? They used to be signed to Jay-Z when she performed at Trump's inauguration.
Chrisette Michele.
Chrisette Michele, exactly. All of them, everybody that was out there.
He still ain't recovered from that.
Yeah, everybody that was out there celebrating that Captain America, celebrating John Walker is a Chrisette Michele.
Actually, now that you say that, because it makes me think about it even more. Because even because they showed the crowd for like a hot second, and for the most part, it was nothing but a sea of white folks. You saw like maybe one one darky in the crowd, like it always is, just like at the Capitol riots, that one. Mm-hmm. But in terms of like the performers, it was all us. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Disney, y'all did that shit on purpose. I know
they know. We see it. We see it.
But then you had okay, so thank you, Al. He said Sarah Hines. So I guess that was the reporter. So yeah, you had Sarah Hines interviewing the white man, U.S. agent Johnny Walker, like the alcohol.
Mm-hmm. And she gave him a pretty decent interview, but she avoided all questions about. She didn't say anything about Sam in the interview, or how does it feel like, or have you even spoke to Sam about it, or like he's completely being left out of the narrative.
Sam at all.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. I'm wondering if the general world knows, like the government knows that Steve Rogers chose Sam. But does the world know?
Even if the world doesn't know that he was chosen, the world knows that he was Captain America's partner, and that maybe he should have had some say, or did he have approval, or why isn't he at this celebration at all? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true, because you would think a new Captain America, his sidekick would be this, but that's
like his right hand man would be there, right? Exactly.
But that's media spin. Even in the way he was talking. Even in the way he was talking, he had his old politician, script on. You saw him practicing in the locker room.
Yeah.
Before he came out, he had the politician laugh, and you got more of his backstory. Like he's like the most decorated war vet of all time, first person to win like whatever type of medal or whatever.
They said he got the Medal of Honor 3 times, and I didn't like him, but the combat vet in me, when he said Medal of Honor 3 times, I was like, oh, okay. Okay, so it's an impressive.
You coming around? You hypnotized by the Negro signal?
Exactly.
I don't know. It's like Watchmen. I don't know, in that episode of Watchmen where they had that wave, that hypnotizing wave in the movie theater when they play the KKK, when they played it with black people.
Yeah,
that's that. I don't know if you remember that. That's what's happening to you. You getting hypnotized.
Exactly. So, but let's separate that. Like he is qualified physically and by those decorations to definitely be Captain America. He is. But Sam should be Captain America, but he has the qualifications. What I'm saying, he's an American hero. Is what I'm saying. Even though he has a very punchable face,
he definitely has a punchable. I'm pretty sure a part of the casting for this wasn't about how good can you act.
Exactly, he had to have that face.
Yeah, it was about how pissed off I am by looking at you.
Exactly,
and Ryan Russell definitely has that face.
Exactly.
But I will say, like, putting the character aside, because I still fucking hate him, but I like what Wyatt Russell's doing. Like, like he's giving me that, like, I hate you, but at the same time, you're kind of charming as well.
Exactly. He is charming, and you hate him for like a specific reason, but until that character shows that he doesn't care about that reason, he's like, we hate him because we black and we're used to this.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's probably a character that does not realize what's going on and he's being racist about it,
But right now, he does seem like a good guy.
Yeah, exactly. He's a good guy. The average white person watching this is going to see him like, oh, why does everybody hate him? He seems like a good guy.
Yeah, exactly. Just another Steve Rogers, just a little bit younger.
Exactly.
Like we need some young blood. Make America great again. Come on.
Exactly.
We can't have Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is the fugitive.
Yeah.
He's a Naker. He's the Nakers.
Mm-hmm.
But so as you see the celebration happening, you get to Bucky, and he's watching on the news media, and this is his first time finding out about the shield being passed on to somebody that
nobody gave my man Bucky a call. Sam a call or nothing about that. Sam, Bucky, nobody gave him a call or nothing.
No. And Bucky, and you see Bucky, with his typical stare, he's looking at the screen like, what the fuck is this? And then it kind of hits you even more which I'm just like, how is people okay with this? Like in the general news media where he was just, the woman, Sarah Hines or whatever, she was like, so have you ever met Steve Rogers? He's like, nah, you never worked with him. Like, there's no conversations. Like, and then the fact that he's just invoking the name of Rogers, like, who the fuck, like, who are you, dude? Like, you never even worked with the man. Now, granted, I will say that when they showed those flashbacks of him throwing the shield, I don't know. It looked to me, it looked a little fake. Like the CGI.
I don't know, but because he did throw the shield in an actual fight, so I don't want to call it. But like we were talking about earlier in the last time we talked, that you need a certain kind of skill to throw that shield. It's not just strength, and and he's seeing to wield the shield pretty decently. Yeah.
And I mean, even jump into that fight real quick since we're talking about it, but like, granted, I understand this is a word of comics. You got the big three: robots, wizards, and aliens.
That was a funny scene.
But at the same time, though, I'm still just like, man, I don't know. I'm just finding it hard to believe that these normal ass people, especially this U.S. agent guy who, based on what it seems, he doesn't have powers, and he's throwing the shield with like Steve Rogers type accuracy.
Exactly.
And he just got it. I'm just like,
yeah. It's not the shield ain't magic or nothing. It's just a basic.
I get it's a comic book. I get it's a comic book property.
I think what we talked about earlier is
I can't let this one go.
I think what we talked about earlier is probably too complex an idea, or Marvel feels that it's too complex an idea for the audience, so they're just gonna have the audience think that anybody could throw the shield. It's just a bouncy shield, and anybody could throw it.
And I mean, from a comic book perspective, I get it, because it's like Batman could do shit no normal human could do.
Exactly.
So it's like whatever.
And Batman isn't normal.
He's still human.
Exactly.
But I'm like, whatever. It's comic books, but the MCU kind of tries to stay grounded.
Exactly.
In reality, so I'm like, because you try to stay grounded in reality, I'm not believing U.S. agent is able to throw the shield like this, man. Or even when he like threw the shield like at the last second to catch his battle coon. I'm just like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just need to get over it, because
yeah. I think we gotta let that part of it go.
Yeah, we gotta let it go.
If when Sam gets the shield, he can throw it with the same ease, then we definitely gotta let it go.
But I'm like, in this world that you're seeing everybody get powers, like by the end of this, granted, I get Sam doesn't have powers in the comics, but I'm like, come on, make the black man a super soldier by the end of this.
Nah, it can't work that way.
Because I'm like, as of right now, because of the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman, we only got one powered black person in the MCU, and that's Monica.
Yeah.
Every other Negro is a normal ass Negro.
Mm-hmm. Working hard, like Sam.
Yeah. But anyway, so Bucky sees the thing on the TV screen. You got my man's invoking the name of Steve Rogers, like he has that but that white privilege is letting him do it. Mm-hmm. And then this is how Bucky and Sam finally start to meet, because Bucky goes to confront Sam about why he gave up the shield. Mm-hmm. And Sam's not trying to have that conversation. And then you get to see like the chemistry between the two of them, and you really get to see why Marvel decided to make a show between the two of them, because
it's good.
Yeah,
they're good together.
they're very good together, and it's funny. Like, they decided to make this show based on that one scene from Civil War. Like, can you move your seat up? No.
Yeah.
That one scene, and then when they were doing like press tours together and seeing them interact with each other, Kevin Feige was like, "Oh no, we need to get them a show." Yeah. And he did a very good job making that decision, because I mean, they work.
I'm not trying to say Anthony Mackie is not his own man, but doesn't he seem like somebody the way he's acting to you in this show?
What do you mean?
Like, he's like somebody acting, like you like when Denzel acts, you could tell it's Denzel. So when somebody's acting like Denzel, you could tell they're acting like Denzel. Does it seem like he's acting like another famous actor to you? I
didn't catch it. No.
It felt like Will Smith this whole episode to me.
Why? Because I'm like, wait, maybe if you talk about, because I'm like, where'd you get Will Smith?
I don't know. Like towards the end when he was talking to him, he was like, "Yeah, man." It felt real Will Smith to me. It could just be me, but it felt real Will Smith to me. Like Will Smith Independence Day kind of. It felt like that to me. Maybe it's just me.
Maybe, but yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all.
Maybe after I say it, then you'll see it the next,
Yeah, I mean, maybe when I go back and watch it. But yes, Al, are wizards just sorcerers without hats, or sorcerers just wizards without hats? Apparently, that's something I learned. In this episode.
Yeah,
because I'm like, yeah, Dumbledore has a hat, and they call him a wizard. But then you get Doctor Strange.
Beard. You gotta have either the hat or the beard, like
the hat or the beard. Because like even Merlin doesn't have the hat, but he has the beard, and they call him a wizard.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so Sam, they're having a conversation. Sam doesn't want to have this conversation, and then he's like, "Look, I got more important things to worry about." And he even named John, because Bucky was like, "Did you even know they were going to do this?" He's like, "Of course not. Like, I didn't know they were going to do this. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Like sneak and steal the shit. And I'm glad they brought back Civil War. He's like, remember the last time we stole the shield? I'm not trying to do that.
And there was a part where like Bucky was like, "Yo, you're gonna do this," and Sam was like, "Yo, you're not gonna tell me what to do." It's like as who I am as a man, as a black man, you're not gonna tell me what to do. Like that part was real poignant to me. It stuck out a lot.
Yeah, again, Bucky, like going back to Dust Daughter's comment, who was the whitest white man in this? Bucky was trying to pull a little bit something like I'm the but
exactly.
That again, the strength of the show being ran by a black man. Like I love. Like just a lot of the small nuances. And so then Sam, this one we get to part of the major action sequence of this episode where Bucky or Sam tells him what's been happening, the Flag Smashers, the origin of the Flag Smashers, talk about what Red Wing found and how Bucky doesn't like Red Wing. And so Bucky goes with them. They go on the plane, and you get a little small cameo from my other boo, Torres. He wasn't in this episode that much, but you still saw him. I'm like, hey Torres, how you doing? I'm glad to see you. Hey baby. But we focusing on the ship name is actually called Sam Buck, but I don't like that name. Sam Bucky. Not Sam Buck. Sam Bucky. I don't like that. I like Fucky. But apparently if you type Fucky on YouTube, they automatically flag it and they delete your comment. Because somebody typed that in my comment section, my other video, and it deleted. And I typed it in somebody else's comment section and it automatically deleted. I'm like, oh, see, YouTube fucking up.
Yeah, but you can write fuck on YouTube.
Yeah, but I was about to say, let somebody call me an N.
Yeah,
and that should have stayed right. That should have stayed right there.
Yeah,
YouTuber asked me if I want to delete it.
Yeah, because that's the computers. The computers are racist too because they got racist algorithms.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, like the whole like soap dispensers that can't detect black hands or whatever.
Exactly.
Trash. Anyway. But yeah, going more into the chemistry between the two, you see them like they're constantly like bickering. And so Bucky, he's almost kind of like the hothead. He just wants to jump into the fight because he sees like the Flag Smash. He's like, I just want to take him out. Let's just go.
And he used to taking out regular dudes, not fighting other super soldiers, So he thinks he can just, run up in there and it's not happening. So like the chemistry and the camaraderie between them is just gold. So like hearing them arguing back and forth, and he's like, it's only two dudes. And Sam's like, oh, really? It's just two dudes? Wait a minute. Hold up. Let me open it up. Oh, how many dudes you see? Oh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's like, shut up. And so then Bucky's still hard-headed. He keeps wanting to go. And then they make Bucky is from definitely a different time and place. So like, I don't want to excuse his non-anti-racism, but I see it. You also saw like when he confronted. I mean, plus he worked for 90 years for a Nazi organization. Exactly. He was brainwashed. So I thought it was so funny when he confronted the Flag Smasher, who in the comics is a guy, but they changed it to Carly instead of Carl. I'm not gonna pronounce her or his last name because it's some long weird white shit. But when he confronted her, he thought that she was like a hostage, and he thought she was a hostage because she was a she. And that's because of where he's from in that time. It's like, oh, the woman must be the hostage, and he got kicked in the fucking chest. And then not only just that, but Sam also looked on the X-ray. She was like in that van in like a fetal position. Like, why are you sitting like that? Yeah. If you were regular, so I think it was definitely set up. They probably knew. They probably knew they were there. And so showing that Bucky is also a super soldier, because a lot of people still be having questions about that. Oh, is it just his arms? Nah, he was like running up on that. He's a super soldier when he dived out the goddamn plane and fell 200 feet and he got up. Yeah, landed, just used his vibranium arm as a cushion. I'm like, granted, I get vibranium absorbs all kinetic energy. Nah, but not, he landed on his back. His head hit the ground. Like, that's not. That's not how that shit works. It's like in the fucking MCU, not Scarlet Witch. I mean, Black Widow was a super soldier in the MCU as well. So, a full super soldier. No, she wasn't. She wasn't an MCU in the MCU. She's a super soldier in the comics. You don't think she's a super soldier in the MCU? All the crazy shit she was doing. Well, Black Widow's coming out soon. I guess we can confirm. Yeah, I guess we'll find out, because I'm like, I don't think I never saw her like running and keeping up with trucks and shit. Yeah, but like. Yeah, I've never seen her. I mean, she's done like super feats, but not like super feats. She's done shit that I can't do, but I don't think she's done like Captain America level shit. But we'll see when the Black Widow show comes out. Have they ever talked about the Infinity Formula in the MCU?
No, they never talked about the Infinity Formula.
They never explained why Nick Fury's still alive. And okay, never mind. Let's keep going.
No, because I mean, based on a little bit that we know of Nick Fury, they don't really say. I mean, just like Black Widow, they don't say that they're super old.
Yeah. Okay.
So Nick Fury just might be a regular guy. He might not go all the way back to the early 19, like Captain America's time or even before. So I don't know. Maybe they might touch on it later in the MCU, but yeah, right now they don't. Yeah, they haven't touched, because Bucky also has the Infinity Formula too in his system.
Yeah.
But in this, he's just a super soldier. But anyway, so yeah, this the main action sequence of this episode. You see Bucky running up on the truck, trying to save the girl. Yeah, like you mentioned, she's a super soldier. She's a super soldier. Her friends are super soldiers, but she's like the leader of the group. Yeah, sexist. They all super soldiers. My friends are like you get super soldier, like Oprah. You get a super soldier formula. You get a super soldier formula. You get a super soldier formula. And I'm just like, okay, dang. I can see Bucky maybe keeping up with them and throwing hands with them. But I'm like, how Sam
he can't even beat up Batroc. So
yeah, he can't even take out Batroc, and Batroc's not a super soldier.
Exactly.
So I'm like, maybe Sam could probably put some work in with one of them, because I don't think they all, because super soldier or not, I don't think they got that much experience fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe, but I'm like, dang,
he can use his wings and stuff, you know.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's a whole bunch of these motherfuckers. Yeah. Like how they gonna fight? It looks like they were about to lose, but then who comes to the rescue? Captain Privilege and Battle Coon. They show up in the helicopter trying to fight, and yeah, that's what I was like, based on how they were moving. I was like, yeah, it don't seem like they got they super strength. But my prediction is, jumping to the end real quick, because they name dropped the power brokers at the end. I don't know if you caught that at the end of the episode. So I'm thinking at some point, because the power brokers is how Battlestar and US Agent got their powers, I think at some point they're gonna get their powers from the power brokers.
Yeah, I was gonna wait to the end and say that, but yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. However they're juicing, I think that John Walker's gonna realize that he's not able to live up to the real Captain America, and he's gonna just take that juice.
I'm hoping that it goes to like I said, I want Sam Wilson to have powers by the end of this. I mean,
I don't think it can't go that right. I think at the end of the series, hopefully the young boy that's playing Elijah will be revealed that he had powers this whole time and was just hiding them, and then Sam will talk about eventually passing the shield down onto him. That I think that would be the perfect ending to the series.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not right now.
Not right now. I said in the future, not now. Oh. Sam still got time. I'm just saying, like, he's young. He can mentor him. You know what I mean? And eventually pass the shield down to him.
Yeah, definitely. Because I do. Because they this is the first time we saw Elijah. He barely had a line in this episode. I'm like,
he had a few lines.
Granted, I'm like, I know this ain't about Elijah, but I'm like, give me a little bit more. I want some Elijah. Like, it's the first time we seeing Elijah Bradley. Like, give me some.
You want too much.
I know. I want too much. I want too much. But I don't
Especially in this one episode that definitely wasn't about him. It was about somebody bigger and better. So what I mean.
It definitely wasn't. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that later. Because even him, I was like, I want more. Like. But yeah, so how'd you feel about the action sequence in this episode?
I think the action scenes were pretty good. I like the fact that they took that L. It shows that super soldiers are really super. And like you said, even though those guys aren't necessarily like the best combat fighters, it's just that serum,
Yeah, I mean, I like this. I like this action set piece. I thought it was pretty good. But honestly, I didn't think it was as good as the first episode. Like,
oh hell no.
Yeah, no.
But it was supposed to be like clumsy fighting because they were fighting super soldiers. You know what I mean?
Okay, I guess that makes sense because they're super soldiers, but they're not experienced. Because I do kind of feel like in the way it was shot, I felt like there was way more jump cuts than in the first one, where it's like it kind of looked fluid and you saw like the hand-to-hand combat going on, as opposed to this one. It was like cut, and so I'm like, but now that you say what you say, I'm like, that's actually a great point. And not to say I had a problem, because every time you criticize something, everybody, oh, you hated it. No, I didn't hate it. I noticed it wasn't as good as the first episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after Bucky gets his kind of gets his ass beat, which Sam makes fun of. He's like, that girl kicked your ass.
Exactly. Bucky needed that. He needed to be humbled real quick.
Yeah, he definitely did. Especially it was good, but that he got his ass kicked by a girl.
Exactly.
Because and it was a black woman too.
Yeah.
Granted, she was like the light skinnedest of black women, but still she was black.
Yeah, it's like, especially because he thought that she was the hostage immediately too. He got what he deserved. Hopefully he'll come around to the way he thinks,
But they all got they damn near all got their ass kicked. And so you saw the moment where Bucky is hanging on to the side of the thing, and Sam basically saves him by grabbing him. And I mean, granted, I know you come at this from a different perspective, but I'm like, tell me, you like at this point, at least for this episode, I'm like, you had to have seen it. Like, I don't know. I'm like the queer baiting in this episode for Bucky and Sam. It was like, you know how they say the force is strong with this one? Yeah. I'm like, nah, they queer baited the hell out of this. And not even just in this moment, but there was another moment later on. I was like, nah, they doing this shit on purpose with the queer bait. Like I tweeted on Twitter, but this moment with them rolling the arms locked into each other like they're hugging, rolling in a field of grass. On top of each other, looking at each other's eyes, holding at each other.
So you saying it was like more romantical?
It wasn't literally romantic, but just the positions they had them in. And then like later on, which we'll get to later, I'm just like, come on now. Well, I forgot what I was about to like. I forgot. I remember. So I took the picture of them on top of each other in the grass with Bucky looking into his eyes. And then later on, which we'll talk about, but like the therapy session with them got their legs locked into each other. I was like, if the saying "it ain't gay if the balls don't touch" were people, it would be these motherfuckers, because that's exactly what it felt like.
I never heard that saying.
That's the thing. There's like a meme or whatever going on. Like, it ain't gay if the balls don't touch.
Okay.
Because it's like there's like a thing on it. It's like, and it's real. Like, they interview people where like you guys two straight guys like that will have sex with each other, and they'll call it like a bro job. Oh yeah, it's not told because we're both straight. We both identify as straight. So our bro job. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no, there are people that have they got to try to do some level of cognitive dissonance.
Some kind of mental gymnastics.
Yeah, mental gymnastics to try to justify. It's like, no, like if you a guy and you getting pegged by a woman, it's not gay because it's a woman. But if I'm fucking sticking my finger in you, then it's gay. Because if it's two men, if it's two men, I don't care how you justify it, it's gay. But a lot of people will say, oh, I don't want my girl touching my ass because it's gay. It's like, well, no, it's not, because it's your girl. But that's a whole nother conversation. But it's if the balls don't touch, that's what they want. Because literally, they on top. And then when they rolled, then when Sam pushed them off, and Buck, like, they didn't instantly get up. They like looking up at the sky, and it reminded me of like the end of every sex scene where they both roll off of each other and they look up and they just stand up and they stare up at each other. And even Sam had his like arm on top of Bucky for like a hot second. I'm like, come on. Like, I know I'm not. Granted, I know I'll
How many times did you rewind that?
Wait a minute! Don't try to call me out like that. This is my live stream. We're not gonna talk about what I did with that scene. But nah, I'm definitely not the only one that noticed it, because soon as I talked about it, I looked on Twitter and I saw everybody talking about it. So I'm like, nah, they definitely queer bait, especially when you get to the later scene with them. Again, you have them in couples therapy, and the therapist even says, what I'm about to do, I do for couples. Like, come on, man. Like, come on. I don't know. But you didn't notice. Well, fuck you. You need to.
I'm not denying it. I just saying I didn't personally notice it.
Granted, like, I'm not saying they're going to do it. They're going to go this way. I mean, it's Disney. Come on. Like, they're not going to do it. But I still feel like they're doing it. They're queer bait. They're queer baiting. But anyway, so after they have their little quickie in the grass, after they have their little quick makeout session, they get up and they start walking, and you see U.S. Agent and Battlecoon riding in the. I'm gonna use that term from now on. But real quick, I see I got 20 people in the stream. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have not hit that like button, if you could please do me a favor and hit that like button. Or I mean, if you dislike us, because I'm looking at my phone right now, I see I have one dislike. That's fine. You could dislike me. I'm open to criticism. Let me know why you dislike me, and maybe we could be better for the next time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, hit that like or dislike button. I'd appreciate it, and then leave a comment letting me know why you liked or disliked. Hashtag, like WandaVision, for the children, for the engagement. Because I'm trying to get like the Flintstones kids, where we're a million strong and growing. Which, speaking of which, I gotta come up with a name for like the people that follow my YouTube channel. You know how like Mariah Carey has the lambs.
I never even knew that. I just know Beyonce got the Beehive, and
Nicki Beyonce.
And Meg got the Beehive.
So I'm like, I need to come up with a name for the people that support my channel. The diehards, like Dust Daughters and everything. I mean, everybody. As long if you hear, but yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. Or unless you guys could think of a name of what I should call you guys. The Gayvenites. maybe we'll put that in the book.
Yeah, you can make a poll or something.
Yeah, well, I'll make a poll there because I do say safe Gayven. The back Gayven. Well, no, because it sounds like I call my place the safe Gayven. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm not gonna dwindle on that too long. But wait, real quick before I continue. Dubious Space Hamster, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. That one dislike is from John Walker for saying his stance is punchable, which 100% it is.
Yeah, it is.
It probably was some one white person that was like, oh, y'all talk about John Walker dislike. Oh, y'all Negroes talk about my that's my Captain America. Nah, motherfucker. Yeah. Not my hashtag, not my Captain America. But anyway, so they're walking after making out in the fields, and you see a U.S. agent of Battle Crew coming behind them, and he tries to be all nice. Mm-hmm. He tries to be like the white coworker that wants to make friends, but then they calling you an N behind you. But I was about to say it, but I'm like,
and normally that'd have been cool, but like you just picked up the shield. Why didn't you reach out to Sam earlier? You know what I mean? This is where the racism that maybe he doesn't know is being racist is actually going hand in hand. Like even if he decided to take that role, maybe he could go to Sam, ask for tips, hints, or anything like that, or like even ask him if he thought it was okay. But like he's white and he knows that he can do this, and he doesn't need the approval of some black guy. So fuck it.
Yeah, he doesn't care. It's only but for the fact that he saw him in the field that he's like, oh, Falcon, Bucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me reach out because he even has mentioned that thing at the end where he was like, it would be cool to have Captain America's right-hand man or whatever, or wingman.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't you reach out? Didn't reach out before?
Yeah. Why did you ask me before? Like you knew you were about to get this shield. Like why did you? Granted, maybe
this dude saved the world multiple times, and you didn't reach out to him. You know what I mean? This is something that you never did. He's talking about, the Avengers do this, the Avengers do that. You've never done any of this. You don't reach out to any Avengers.
Especially, again, you talk about wanting Captain America's right-hand man. It wasn't that important to you before. It wasn't important for me to be at this ceremony. You didn't even call me to give me the opportunity to even be at the ceremony.
Exactly.
The only time they called Falcon was to give up the shield.
Exactly. So
yeah, it's that whole conversation was just like it was all a microaggression. Yeah, and they even with the battle coon guy kind of confronting them and saying, I don't remember exactly what he said. I forgot what he said, but I was like, man, shut the fuck. I was
exactly.
Like, shut your ass up.
And Battle Coon, if he was a real one, like he knows that Sam served and all that stuff. Like he should have reached out to Sam. He should have pressed, if that's his friend, he should have pressed him like, yo, you don't think you should reach out to this guy tonight? But no, he just wants to ride the coattails. He's like that,
or even being in the same car with Sam was.
Exactly.
You didn't even see him go like, yo, like again. Remember we met you before? Was like when black people are together, we at least
exactly. He's not a real one.
He's not a real one. He didn't even go like, oh man, like Falcon. I'm a big fan. Like
exactly. What's up, bro?
We're both in the military.
Exactly,
nice to meet you. It's good to meet. Like it was none of that.
Yeah, he's just happy being Captain America's sidekick.
Yeah, he's just happy.
He's happy riding those coattails. Oh, we going to the top, boss?
Yeah,
I ride it with you, boss.
I was literally just about to say, can I shine your shoes, master? let me shine this shield for you, boss. Come on. Which way do you want me to kick?
Mm-hmm.
You need me to make you some waffles in the morning?
Exactly. And like he's like, I don't know if you guys know anything about the military. Like you see his rank on his shoulder. He is a whole ass sergeant major. Like he has his own accomplishments.
I don't know what that
exactly.
means.
He's somebody who has his own accomplishments and has done his own thing. Like he has no voice. He's nobody. He's just
yeah, of course. I mean,
he's happy. He's the guy that's happy being in the shadow. Like when you're a black person and you start to get like, you know, certain job offers or you're allowed into like a lot of white spaces. Yeah, it's radical. When you start to be allowed in white spaces and they accept you for not being black and not mentioning black topics and not, oh, you're just like us. You're one of the good ones. Oh, this is my friend. He's not really black. Yeah, this is my black friend, but he's not really black.
Yeah, he's an Oreo.
Exactly, he's an Oreo.
He's one of those ones that'll let you say that too. Like, let somebody call me. Like, what the fuck? Don't fucking call me that.
Exactly, and that's exactly who he is. And like, I know a lot of white people. Like, if you're watching this, you don't get it. This is what we're talking about. Like, that's that guy, and that's the racism. Like, it's really a show for us, but hopefully we can help you see the nuance. And
I mean, it's like it's like Lovecraft Country. With Lovecraft, it's like, I mean, yeah, white people can watch, but like when I watch like a lot of the white reviewers, I'm like, are we watching two different shows?
You're not getting it. You're not,
because there's a nuance that you're just not like, you're not even touching on it as a reviewer. Like, I feel like you're doing a disservice to your audience. And granted, it ended up working for me in the end because I had a lot of people coming to my channel for Lovecraft Country, like, oh yeah, I watched this review, you know, these white major reviewers, and then I happened to come across your channel and like, it's two different, like you're touching on shit that they don't even talk about, so I'm gonna watch your channel from now on. Thank you so much. So I mean, all these white reviewers keep doing it because it's getting me more. It's getting me more. It's gonna help me get to that Flintstones kids thing, because even when I watched one of the reviewers for this episode, I'm not gonna say who it is because I mean I'm still a fan of the channel, but like I went to watch somebody, he didn't even really talk about. They don't get it, and you wouldn't get it unless it's broken down to you, and then it to be broken down to you, you have to care enough to listen. You know what I mean? I'm like, he didn't even really talk about the Isaiah Bradley stuff. He just mentioned, he was like, oh yeah, they had Isaiah Bradley show up. That's cool. And then that was the end of that, and I was like, but what about the context of what it means? Exactly. If you're gonna review stuff, like you need to like come on.
But you can't if you don't have the range, you really can't. And it's just like even like when I'm talking about something that's like, you know, a woman led something or gay something, I know there's these things or elements in it that I cannot understand. So I'll like have somebody else on, or like I'll have somebody else review it because I don't have the range. White people. They like own the world, so they think that they have the range. They can explain to you what racism is. They can explain to you all these things, and if they can't explain it, if they can't understand it, then it really doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, and granted, not to say I know everything, you know, because I mean, you know, Black Gay Comic Geek. I do love comics. I do read comics, but I don't purport to know everything. And so, if there's something like I don't really read that many Captain America comics. So talking about U.S. Agent and Battlestar, like. I never even heard of Battlestar until like the episode before episode before this, when I was looking up U.S. Agent, because I've heard the name U.S. Agent, but I never really knew that much about him. I knew he was part of the West Coast Avengers and all that other stuff, but knowing that he had a sidekick, I didn't know none of that shit. But guess what? I'll look it up and research it to maybe even touch on it a little bit. But it's like they don't want to take that extra step.
Or if they look it up, they'll look it up what another white person says.
Yeah, they will. But real quick, let me Casey Branker, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. CA, what is that? Does that mean you're from California
or Canada?
Or Canada?
Yes, probably Canadian $3.
Maybe that's what that is. But I appreciate it out of the way. I was just wondering what that CA stand for. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. But fucking micro. It's like every episode. It's like every episode, Marvel is like, how angry can we make you? How angry can we make
exactly.
you?
And I love it. Like I felt that they tried to do it a little bit the first episode, but something was off. This episode, it was hitting.
Yeah,
it was hitting.
So they're getting into the thing that's hitting, the thing that we probably might spend the longest on. So after the whole conversation, they kind of hit a wall with they don't want to work with U.S. agent. They don't really know what's going on. The flags matches done whoop their ass. They don't have any more leads. Bucky's like, all right, I got somewhere to take you. And so then we see them go to Baltimore. And I'm like, Baltimore? And then as soon as I saw a black neighborhood, I was just like, nah, they're not about to do, not in the second episode. It's too early. So you see a little joke where Falcon, he runs into this little black kid. He's like, oh man, it's Black Falcon. And he's like, what? Black Falcon? And oh, KC. Oh, I know who that is. KC Bacchanal. Yeah. Okay. What up? Hey, welcome to the stream. But yeah. You get the little. He's like Black Falcon. Yeah, my dad calls you Black Falcon. He's like, why? Because I'm black. He's like, I mean, yeah. So he's like, what are you? Are you black kid? He's like, man. I mean, I thought that was a cute joke, and that was a thing that referenced.
It's a real thing too. It's a real thing too.
Not even just that, but like a lot of black superheroes from back in the day used to, like, they all had black in front of their name.
And yeah,
with like you got Black Lightning, you got, with the exception of Black Panther, because that's the actual animal. But it's still a black in front of the name. Black Panther. You got Black Vulcan. And there was another
Black Lightning.
Black Lightning, Black Vulcan. There's more that I can't think of off the top of my head.
But the only one that's not black is Black Bolt.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think Falcon was the first black hero that didn't have black in front of his name.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, Black Adam. Even though people try to say he not black, and they
try to claim him. Yeah, just like they try to claim the Rock. Oh, the Rock isn't black.
Yeah,
he got a whole black ass father.
They do try to whitewash. They do try to whitewash him a little bit in the comics, and I'm like, my man, this he's from Egypt, and it's not like he ain't from the Egypt of today. After the colonizers done came in and stole the land, he's from ancient Egypt before white people. Like I keep saying, white people are good for two things: racism and taking black music. So and language. They're trying to claim
food.
Yeah. Taking black culture. They trying to claim Egypt too. Like
I was on Facebook the other day. One of my white friends, I guess they're my friend. They posted, any of my friends have a good recipe for jerk chicken? And I'm like, why would I give you my grandma recipe for some black food? Like, you don't see the problem in that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw that TikTok where like it was a black woman and she made a thing was like when you go to your white friend's house for dinner and she like sneaking in some like seasoning and sneaking in some like seasoning salt and some oregano, all that stuff in the pot, some garlic powder.
Yeah, unless they Italian, you got to do that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's basically what that's actually what I should call him. Unseasoned Captain America.
Yeah.
Unseasoned Captain America and Battle Coon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after that little joke, so we see knock on the door. And I couldn't really see see the guy from the mesh on the door screen. So I didn't know it was him, Elijah Richardson, who's playing Elijah Bradley. But then as soon as he's like, is Isaiah there? I'm like, oh shit, they doing it in this episode.
They went there.
I didn't know they were. I knew he was going to be in the show.
I thought he'd be at the end, and then it'd be just a mention. You know,
I didn't know it was going to be this early. So a lot. Eli, he invites him in. He has a couple lines here and there. And then you see, and he looked like the guy that's playing. I should have looked his name up. I don't know who the actor is. If you guys know in the chat who the actor is,
he did a phenomenal job in his scenes too.
Not even just that, but he looks like
a muscular older guy. Yeah,
he was a former super soldier. And I love how they dropped like I kicked your ass too. Like he's talking about Bucky.
So clearly, him and Bucky had an encounter. And
there we go. Thank you, Does Carl Lumbly. There we go.
Bucky must have been on a mission and ran into him and got his ass whooped.
But based on what it seems like they're doing in the show, as opposed to what they retcon in the comics, they're going with the route that he came after Steve,
which I am not a fan of.
They said 1950s.
Yeah, exactly. And they do that to protect Steve. I love Steve, but they do that to protect Steve and keep him like completely guilt-free and harm-free. When the reality is, to create the super soldier serum, it was tested on black people. To create it, it was tested on black people first. But they don't want to, because they didn't allow Steve to be clean. Even after we leave,
I feel like even if you say like it still allows Steve to be clean, because it's not like Steve was doing the testing. Steve got tested on too.
Yeah. But it makes Steve the result of all the benefit or everything that Steve comes from is the result of them, testing on black people. You understand? Like,
yeah, but I also think that's just the Disney. The Disney trying to whitewash, the thing, because it's like. There's a whole history about
Tuskegee,
not even just that, but I was just gonna say because but beyond just the Tuskegee experiment, there's a whole history of using black bodies for experimentation and medical research. Exactly. Whether even with the eggs of Henrietta Lacks, and like you mentioned Tuskegee, or the fact that they used to use black skin for leather, like. There's just like a lot of experimentation.
But it's like you gotta protect Cap. Like Cap is so pure. Even when they leave the house, and Sam is like, "Why didn't you tell me about this? Did Steve know about this?" He's like, "No, Steve didn't know. There's no way Steve could know, because then it would make Steve a bad person, or or human at least,
Yeah, you got it, but you can't. Like maybe the new Captain America could be a little racist, but you can't.
No, Steve is too pure.
Yeah, you got Steve. Steve is too, even though he grew up in the 40s.
Yeah, exactly. For some reason, he's so pure.
Yeah,
and I love Steve. I'm just.
No, yeah, I love
real
Steve.
Talking.
I love Steve.
Yeah, talking real talk. Yeah,
he's still a white man in Jim Crow. No, it wasn't the South, because what was
he's from Brooklyn?
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn. I don't know why I was about to say the South.
Yeah,
but even still, like New York was racist back then too. Like they have this whole thing about the North versus the South. Now the North was racist too.
Exactly.
They just weren't outwardly racist. This kind of like, Portland, Oregon. You go to Portland, they talk about, you go to like Portland. It's like these liberal cities. Sometimes the liberal cities be the worst motherfucking ones.
Yeah.
But
like I enjoy your food and your culture, but I don't want you living next to me.
Yeah, of course not. Or, like Amy Cooper, we're in New York. She was a Democrat. Like, oh no, I'll vote for Democrats. Black Lives Matter, but a black man tells me what to do with my dog on the leash, I'm gonna call the cops and weaponize my white womanness.
Weaponize my white tears.
Yeah, as there's a black man and he's threatening my, like she knew what she was doing. But anyway, I'm already about to go on a rant with this shit. So
I mean, that's what the show was invoking. You know what I mean?
It is. So yeah. So,
but I'm saying, and it's crazy that it's invoking all this and us. And it's a random white person watch this show and didn't get any of that. You know what I mean?
Just like, oh, Isaiah Bradley, he's from the comics. That's
cool. Maybe we'll see Young Avengers.
Yeah, like
that's dope.
He's a black super soldier, not ignoring the fact that he was fucking experimented on without his permission. He was made sterile without, they experimented on 300 black bodies just to be able to get to him. They all died, all those black soldiers. Granted, they didn't say all of that, but like, go read the comic.
Exactly.
Or even just not even read, Google it. Google the comic. He even said it in this episode, the experimentation and how even Hydra was while he was in jail. And they also kind of made his thing worse than it was even in the comics, because in this show they said he was in jail for 30 years. Exactly. He wasn't in jail that long in the comics.
Yeah, exactly. They made him the super Muhammad Ali, like
he's like Nelson Mandela, free. I don't know if you remember that song from the night, Free Nelson Mandela.
Exactly.
Like and
that's something that the U.S. government would do, and I'm glad that Disney took it there. They didn't take it to the extent where the super soldier serum was created with, but they still took it to a level, that lets you know that the American government has and always has been, racist as hell.
But yeah, he probably already left, bro. But yeah, great episode, guys. Gotta go. Thank you for stopping by. If you're still here, I appreciate it. But like I'm hoping like, going back to talk about not being greedy or whatever. Like I'm hoping this is not the last time we see Isaiah Bradley, because even though they touched on it, I kind of feel like it was still like all right, let's just get this out the way real quick. Because then they kind of left, and then it was like,
I'm
like, nah, I need more. Like, I need a flashback. I need to see him.
You can tell they're gonna go back to it, and hopefully we do get a full flashback. I'm being greedy now because at the beginning, last time we talked, and I was hoping they would just mention him. And now I need a whole flashback. But
no, because I'm just like Isaiah Bradley's storyline, especially within the Captain America mythos, which is what this show is dealing with. That's a huge part of it. Like, it deserves more than just like a 5-minute scene. Especially now that you have the reverse of, because in the comics it was Steve Rogers dealing with that legacy, but now that means something completely different when you got Sam Wilson, a black man, also dealing with the legacy of another black man,
exactly,
your ancestor.
But that makes it such a good story because that, you know.
But that's my point.
They did the show this way, like where Sam kind of was ambivalent about the shield, but like a moment like this would make him realize that it's more of a responsibility for him to pick up the shield. You know,
well, that's kind of my point because it's such it makes it such a better story. Who's calling me right now? My brother. I'm on the go away. But yeah, because it's such a bigger story, like I feel like it needs to be a bigger story besides this. 5-minute scene, like
this is being done very well. This is being done very well,
like, especially Elijah. I'm like, give me some more. Granted, I know it's not
about him. Yeah,
but he still needs to have. He still needs to have more. But yeah, this whole thing, like that whole speech that he gave, like when he was talking about, I was in jail for 30 years, and then the Hydra kept coming in, taking my blood, yada yada yada. Like that shit. Like, I was like, come on, like talk about. Granted, I understand this is fiction, but it's also based in reality. Exactly. And I'm like, this is why black, exactly. I'm like, black people need reparation. Yeah. I'm like, come on.
And like all that stuff that like he went through, like me personally, like my great grandfather was in the World War II. My grandfather served, like my father served, I served. Like that could be my grandfather, you know, that served 30 years and was tested on it. So I feel that shit. You know what I mean? I feel that shit.
Yeah. And I mean, granted, maybe not literally our grandfather, but I mean, we have grandparents, like in my own family, maybe not in terms of medical experimentation, but like we all have like, you know, racism and stuff like that in on my father's side. They were chased off, like that family was chased off a farm and things like that and that property. And it's like, imagine who knows what that property would be today and the wealth that they could accumulate and all that other stuff. So it's like, it's just a snowball effect. Like you can, like when people always say, specifically white people or people like Battle Coon, when they always try to say, why do you always have to play the race card? Why does everything always have to be about race? And it's like, no, motherfucker. If you look at literally every single division of America, every single business, every history of like education or movies or whatever, every division of America, you could find an aspect of racism in it. And so just because I'm pointing it out and I see it as a black person and you choose to ignore it, it's not my problem. Just because you choose,
it's actually our problem. You should be working with me to dismantle this, unless you're just you're happy reaping the benefits.
Like you need to be upset. Instead of being upset about me of bringing it up and acknowledging it,
you should be upset at its existence.
Not even just that, but you need to be upset at your ancestors for creating it, and then you need to be upset at yourself for not deconstructing it. And that's a great point that I got from a woman on TikTok. I can't think of her name, but yeah, she made that video. So I'm like, and that's a very good point, because everybody's always like, oh, why do you always have to bring up the race card? It's like, it's not a card. It's like the air. It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. And if you're like, you find yourself in these spaces and you're not like Battle Coon, another thing they'll say is like, well, we have the same job. You know, we getting the same pay. But do you know what I had to get through to get here? Somebody like, you know, it's definitely easier for you to attain the things that I have, even though we're on the same level. Like people at my job say like, you know, oh, we're at the same level. Like, no, bro, if I had it better, if I had, you know, the resources, I would have been a fucking brain surgeon or some shit, not a firefighter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna have to join the army. Like, these are things that I had to do. You know what I mean? To get out of like my certain situation, and like, it's a lot to unpack. It's a lot to unpack.
And not even just that, but a lot of people, like when you hear the term white privilege, people always think like Oh,
they get extra money or something, or there's some kind of card.
Or like there aren't poor white people or whatever. It's like, well, I don't have any white privilege because I was poor. My mother was homeless.
But you're not poor because you're white. You just happen to be poor.
Yeah, exactly. But the privilege is even in just the criminal jerk. Like if we're about to jump into it right now. If I, as a black person, we're together and the cops pull us over, who are they going to look at first? They're going to look to you first. That's the white privilege because I'm automatically assumed guilty. I'm guilty until proven innocent. You already get the presumption of innocence. That's white privilege right there. And so we're getting into that right there. So right after they left Isaiah Bradley, even though I was upset that I wanted more, I was like, dang, what happens right after that? Marvel was like, you mad now? Oh, wait.
And this is a scene that I could like see more realistically happen than the loan scene. You know what I mean? The loan scene, I understand what they were trying to do, but Sam got money. He got a little money. He got a little bank. But this scene, like, no matter how much money you get, you could be LeBron James. This is gonna happen to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, black celebrities talk about all the time about getting pulled over by the cops or anything like that. I mean, look at what happened to get Henry Louis Gates, the one that runs the ancestry thing or whatever. He got arrested for going into his own home, and he's a celebrity. Like, the black guy that got arrested on CNN, he was a reporter. I don't know if you saw that. He's literally he's live on the news reporting, and the cops arrest him. But the white CNN reporters that were literally right across the street, them motherfuckers didn't get arrested, but he arrested the black crew. So it's like, it don't matter how much power you got. How
much money you got.
I was just about to say, like that song, how much money you got, a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's like the Jay-Z song, the OJ, you know?
Yeah. So it's like,
you're still a ninja, you know what I mean?
Omar Jimenez. Thank you, Dustin. But real quick, since I'm on that, let me thank you so much again for the $5 super chat. I need to know what Sam thought about meeting Isaiah. But the cops came in before he could say anything. Yeah, like I hope this is not the end of Isaiah, and I want to get more conversation between Sam and Isaiah because like
Sam needs that talk.
He definitely needs that talk.
Brody need that talk. You know what I mean? In the comics, like all the black superheroes know Isaiah Bradley. All of them know him. Like he's like, you know, their guy. Like that's their Cap, you know.
And you saw on the wall, like he has pictures with like Malcolm X. He has pictures with Martin Luther King. He has pictures with Richard Pryor. He has pictures like not even just black superheroes, black people know who. It's kind of like you know, actors like that are like black famous.
Exactly.
Actors we know because you know we watch those movies, but then if you show a white person, they like, who the fuck is, like if you show a picture of Sanaa Lathan, they be like, who the fuck is that? But I'm like, I know who Sanaa Lathan is.
Yeah, that's my
or Taraji P. Henson before she did Empire.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, that's Cookie from Empire. No, you know her from Baby Boy.
Yeah,
which I didn't see Baby Boy, but I still knew her from Baby Boy.
How you ain't see Baby Boy? That's a hood classic.
Yeah, I was like Tyrese. I'm like, nah.
All right.
But yeah, so get the talk about privilege. So Sam and Bucky are arguing, and then what happened? The cops pull. Whoop, whoop. I'm like, they doing it? They're not about to do this. Marvel, and so
Marvel.
Not
even Marvel, Disney, exactly.
Disney. So the cops pull up. They got their hands on the guns. I'm like, y'all about to trigger me right here. And so a lot
of people that I know, they said that scene, they got scared. They got scared, like they felt it. Like
and you can see, and granted, great actor Anthony Mackie, like you can see him. He fought fucking Thanos.
Yeah. There you go. That's the fucking shit right there. Motherfucker fought Thanos, but he got to get shot.
Scared. Exactly. Wasn't scared of Thanos, but yet you can see the fear in his eyes when these fucking cops got the gun, got their hand on the gun, and it's not like he can't dodge bullet. He don't got his Falcon suit though, so he can't, he can't shield that bullet. But it's like it's crazy how like you got a black man that literally fights evil aliens and shit like that, androids, robots, aliens, and wizards.
And
but
for regular wars, for regular ass wars, you know what I mean?
Regular ass, and still got to come home and deal with racism. It's just like, again, you're talking about being a vet.
Yeah, same shit.
Yeah, and fighting Nazis and shit, but then got to come home and deal with Jim Crow, and it's very real.
And that was the to get a little bit in the truth, right, and black. That was it. Like if you ever read the book, Isaiah Bradley, Black Captain America, actually has the double V campaign tatted on his arm. I actually have it tatted on my arm too, because I'm a stan. And it's about democracy, home and abroad. And soldiers were fighting war overseas and coming home, and like you just said, and having racism inflict them. Like, you want democracy in all these other countries. You're saying you're trying to push for equality in all these other countries, and then these guys are coming back home and not getting it. You know what I mean? It's just fucking ridiculous. And to have it be 2021 or 2023 in the MCU. 2023 in the MCU, and Sam to have fought even bigger battles and to have it still affect him, it's fucking redonkulous. You know what I mean? It's redonkulous. It is.
Well, hold on, real quick. We need a Sam and Luke Cage team up. I can agree with. I was literally just about to say that. Yeah, I'm for that. But let's get it. Yeah, let's get Mike Coulter the fuck up out of there. Because he's Luke Coon. Yeah. That's hashtag not my Luke Cage.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and then the fact that, like, the audacity. Granted, I get it. It's a white cop. You know, I mentioned this in my thing, but like cops were created from slave catchers. So you know, a bad seed creates a bad tree, creates a bad fruit, and cops were created from bad seeds. So
exactly,
like that's why I'm like hashtag defund the police. I'm about to put that in the chat. Hashtag defund the police. Boom, sent. But anyway, I wish I could pin it, but I don't think I have that option in the live. Oh no, I don't have that option in the live chat. I can only put users in timeout or block them, which I'm not. You know, nobody said anything disrespectful. But yeah, so the fact that the audacity that this fucking white police officer went and looked at Bucky and was like, "Sir, is he bothering you? Is he bothering you, mother?"
And Bucky a whole terrorist.
Right? A whole ass motherfucking terrorist. The world knows who the Winter Soldier is because he was broadcast on the news. A whole ass, and you got this mother Falcon, an event. Bucky's not even officially an Avenger.
Yeah. He's
just somebody that the world knows because he, like you said, a whole ass fucking terrorist. And yet man looks at him and says, "Sir, is he bothering you?" It reminds me of Lovecraft Country, where in the first episode, you got the white cop literally turning into a fucking monster. And the one cop still has his gun on the black people. So even in the face of the white, like even in the face of a literal monster, you see more humanity in a fucking monster than you do black people. And it's I need some more water. Like this shit, I'm getting hot, but I'm like almost out. I got like my last sip.
Oh God! And then when Bucky finally like explains, like, "Yo, you know who this is?" And then the cop says, "Oh snap! You know that's Sam Wilson. You know that's one of the good ones. He's good." I felt that in my bones because it's like, say I'll get pulled over or stopped or anything happens to me, and I'll pull out my military or my firefighter ID, and it's like, oh, my bad, you're good, you're one of the good ones, and it's like, yeah, you get that, and you feel like shit. It's like instead of being 3/5 of man, you're 4/5 of man. Oh, you guys are okay, but you shouldn't have to do that to be okay. You shouldn't have to fucking go to war or put your life on the line and do all the stuff that I do or do all the stuff that Sam did to be treated as a normal human being.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing that happens with black cops, like. They might be off duty or whatever. They get pulled over by a white cop. All of a sudden they get harassed, and then all yada yada. Then they find out, oh, you're one of us. My bad. And then it's like, and then you got to like talk about, you know, racist encounters with cops and things like that, and things that people don't realize. It's like not every encounter with the cop, you know, results in like maybe an unarmed black cop being shot, you know, Philando Castile, Sandra Bland, and things like that. It's like it's a domino effect where maybe you're disrespected by a cop. You know, black people are disrespected by a cop. You know, you walk away with your life,
but you don't have your pride or your dignity.
You still got to walk away, you know, feeling disrespected. And it's like that generational trauma and that shit, all of that shit, like
Or you wind up
even if you've never dealt with it yourself, you still feel it. Like, and it's like people don't get that. Like,
yeah. And then sadly, there's some of us that like they get that little bit, like Battle Coon, they get that little pass or whatever, they get that white pass because they done these things, and it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna live in a white neighborhood,
and then they forget where they come from.
I'm getting me a white neighborhood. I'm gonna get me a white wife. No offense to anybody who's interracial dating, but if you're dating a white woman just to date a white woman, that's self-hate. Yeah, and you just find yourself in these white spaces all the time, and you get a gym ability to say you're good, and you keep living this fake life. You get your Tiger Woods on until it all comes crashing down, and you realize that you're still black.
But Rosalind Carter, thank you so much for the $14.99 super chat. No question. Just thanks for the chat, and I love the irony of them arresting Bucky instead of Steve.
Exactly, and when they arrest Bucky, it's so polite. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. He's a whole ass. He's been lying.
Yeah, Mr. They started shucking and son, Mr. Barnes, son. Yeah. We gotta take you to jail, son. But let that have been Sam Wilson. Exactly. Nigga, get on the ground. I need some water. Y'all, I'll be right back. I need to get some more water. Like, shit. I'm getting hot right now. I need to fill my cup up. Keep talking.
It was so polite. Can you please? It's just a little misunderstanding with the parole officer. You know how these things go. You'll be all right. And they arrested him so calmly. And it's saying what to go pick him out of jail like it was nothing. It was nothing. He was released the same day. Let that happen.
It wasn't calm with Sam. They might have had their voice lowered or whatever, like certain. But the fact that you automatically fucking came up with your hand on your gun.
Yeah, exactly.
And
then he was released so quickly. Like that happened. My man Kylie Browder got locked up for like stealing a book bag, which he didn't even do, and he was like in the system for mad long. Like, and Bucky just gets out. He got out for nothing. You know what I mean?
Or like Just Daughter said, Dylan Roof, they took that motherfucker to Burger King after he done shot up a whole black church. Or even just recently, I read
they probably took Bucky to Outback Steakhouse and started asking him Steve Rogers.
Before we take you to jail, is there anywhere we need you to you want to stop real quick?
Yeah. Can you give me some Captain America stories?
Yeah. Can we take a selfie with your arm?
Exactly.
They probably didn't even do that because they probably treated him with some dignity.
Yeah.
As opposed to just a piece of meat.
Yeah, but like they did Sam in the last episode asking him, can he get a selfie with him? Yeah. You can't have this loan, but can I get a selfie?
I'm like, I just read an article today that happened in Minneapolis. Minneapolis cops always fucking up. They arrested unjustly a black woman. They pulled her over, took her to jail, and they left her 4-year-old daughter. They towed the car, left the 4-year-old daughter in the car overnight for a full 24 hours. And the mother was telling the little girl's okay, thankfully. But the mother was telling them, and I'll send you the article after we get off the stream. But the mother was telling them, like, my little girl is still in the car. Could you like get her or like check up? Or the cops ignored it because
it's a black voice. Why would they listen to a black voice?
So this little girl is sitting at the impound, screaming at the top of her lungs because she's locked in the back of the car, screaming for her mother, and in a car in an off car, and it's cold in Minneapolis overnight. So she done defecated in the car, she done peed in the car.
She's starving.
And starving. They finally found her the next day, and the cops now all of a sudden that they're trying to do an investigation because it's starting to make national news and things like that. Oh, our body cams were off.
They broke them cameras. They broke them cameras. Whatever fine they got to do to break those cameras, they took that fine.
So I'm just like Dustin. I mean, about
as a human being, after doing these things to another human being, you don't want to like just turn yourself in like, damn, I did these things. Like, I'm a horrible person. You don't feel that because you don't feel that we're human. It's okay. It's infuriating.
But Haley Lewis, thank you so much for joining the live stream from TikTok. I be talking about YouTube on because people would be like, oh, you should have a YouTube channel. I'm like, I do have a YouTube channel. I talked about it on a couple TikTok videos. So yeah. But that shit got like that's why I had to get more water because I'm like that shit got me hot, super hot. But getting into a little bit more lighthearted stuff because I don't want to stay on that too much because I can talk about this shit for the next hour and be mad. But getting into some lighter stuff, so Bucky goes to jail, and Sam or not Sam what the fuck is his name? Johnny Walker. There we go. Mm-hmm. He tries to use some of his Captain America white privilege to try to get Bucky out of jail. But the therapist, and she's like, nah, you missed your therapy session, bro. Like you're not going nowhere until we have this one session. And so she forces Sam to come with them because she been trying to get Bucky to call Sam since the first episode. So she gets Sam to come with them, and then, like I said, with the queer baiting, she puts them in couples therapy, and she's like, turn into each other. Then she didn't even ask them to put their knees in each other's like next to each other's crotches. She just said get close. So then they get all up in each other, staring in each other's eyes. It like reminds me of a scene in Golden Girls where Blanche is like, oh yeah, we hate each other, I can't stand them, and then it just devolves into the greatest passion and lust and love, and I'm like, if that's not Bucky and Sam, like an amalgam of them right now, I'm like, come on, like if this show doesn't end with them fucking flip-flopping each other in the scene in Bucky's bed, or remember Bucky don't sleep in the bed, I'm gonna be mad, even though it's not gonna happen. I know it's not gonna happen, but still I'm gonna be mad. But anyway, so with the therapy scene, you find out why Bucky is so hard on Sam, because he kind of feels like he mentions like Steve trusted you, Steve left his legacy to you, and you giving up the shield, like does that mean Steve was wrong about you? If Steve was wrong about you, that means he was wrong about me, and trusting me and wanting me to be good and seeing the goodness in me. And so you get more into the psychology of Bucky. And I mean, I like that. What did you feel? Like, how did you feel?
I mean, it was pretty dope. Like you said, getting into Bucky psychology. It's like I don't know. I was so focused on Sam. I'm not gonna. I was so focused on Sam and what just transpired. I think I'm going back to Sam again. I think a big point, and to me, to maybe like a lot of Black people who are like maybe into superheroes or heroes in general. You grew up I grew up loving Spider-Man. Spider-Man was right when I grew up. We didn't have Miles Morales, and you go back to like the Winter Soldier. Sam was a big Captain America fan, a huge Captain America fan. He was ready to ride with him anyway because that's somebody he was in the military. That's somebody he had to look up to. He didn't have Isaiah Bradley. He didn't know there was Isaiah Bradley. He didn't know that there could be an Isaiah Bradley. So once you see that, you know you can be it. And I think that's the route they're taking with Sam. And I think it's great that we have so many Black heroes. I still love Peter Parker, but I think it's great that Miles is probably becoming more popular than him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Especially with like the Spider-Man, which a lot of people will say is the best Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
It is easy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
but I mean, some people still like Spider-Man 2. And I mean, I like not to doubt. I mean, I like Spider-Man 2 as well.
Spider-Man 2 is only good because of Doc Ock.
I was gonna say I did go back and watch it. I'm like, this kind of doesn't hold up as well.
No, it doesn't. What is it? Oliver Molina, whatever the guy.
Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina. He's amazing, and he carried that entire film on his back. Tobey Maguire was horrible. Kirsten Dunst is horrible.
There's people that are ride or dies for Tobey.
Maguire, he's trash.
I'm like
he's trash. I remember as somebody who let's not turn this into a Spider-Man podcast.
I mean, it's Marvel, but real quick, Dust Starters, thank you so much again for the $5 super chat. I'm loving you. Bucky made giving up the shield all about him instead of thinking about how Sam might feel. I mean, yeah, but isn't that what
Bucky's going through? Bucky is going through a lot, so I'm not gonna shade Bucky.
Yeah.
Bucky ain't got no friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only friend he got is that old. Yeah, the only friend he got is that old Asian guy, and
it's
he
okay
about
for
to
him to
lose
be a
him.
little selfish. Yeah.
Once he tells him he killed his son, he about to lose him too.
Yeah. But
yeah, I get Bucky's trauma though, like because also you have to think about it. Like Steve was his childhood best friend. Steve was really the only connection that he had to this world, which also includes that shield. And knowing that the very last thing that Steve gave to you before he went off and retired, I guess maybe he went back to his timeline or whatever. The very last thing that he left in this world was that shield and the legacy of Captain America to Sam. And to the granted, he doesn't know what Sam is thinking or anything like that. They didn't really have a conversation. And so to know Sam just gave it away.
Yeah. But then again, maybe that's a conversation that Sam is going to have with Bucky. Like Bucky doesn't know what it's like to be black in America. He doesn't know what kind of experience Sam has or anything like that. So maybe that's another conversation they'll have. Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe that's enough. But I'm glad. Like during the conversation, like Sam was like, does it come across anybody's mind that maybe I thought I was doing the right thing?
Yeah.
I don't know how. Granted, they didn't go further into it because I'm like, what?
But like I just said, maybe Sam didn't believe that he could be a black Captain America or they could be a black, maybe he felt it was too much responsibility or.
Yeah, I mean it is true because it's one thing.
And it's not him being like self-loathing or self-hating or anything like that.
No,
that's just a ton of responsibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think you said this last week. Where it's one thing to say, "Oh, we won the first black president," or first black president, but it's another thing entirely being the first black president and all the things that go with that. Like, think about all the hate that Obama got that no other president got. Like, a congressman screaming, standing up during his State of the Union address, saying, "You lied." The disrespect, like the shit,
and have to be the guy that like maintains your composure through all that. Like somebody does to me, I'm punching you in the face. Like, they always talk about.
And as a first black president, he can't do that.
Like I read a lot of history, and like no offense to Jackie Robinson, but a lot of people say there were a lot of other baseball players that were better than Jackie Robinson and could have integrated baseball, but Jackie Robinson was the only one that had the fortitude to do it because he had to put up with a lot. People spitting at him, cursing at him, calling him this and that. A lot of people can't do that, and that's something that Sam would probably have to do or go through being the first black Captain America. And maybe he just wants to live a normal life. Maybe he wants to retire on his fishboat. Maybe it's a responsibility, and nobody can make you do that. You have to want to do that.
Yeah, because even after he stops being Captain America, he will still be the first black Captain America.
Exactly.
And all the baggage and things like that. And granted, of course, you got Isaiah Bradley, so he's technically the first, but the world doesn't know about him.
Exactly.
So. Like, yeah, that is a lot of responsibility. Or like the first black family to move into an all white neighborhood to integrate it. It's like,
or Ruby Bridges.
Yeah, Ruby Bridges. That too.
A little girl had to go through all that stuff. She's a grown woman now, but a little girl had to go through all of that. She needed a goddamn police escort because there was so much hate being flung at her just for integrating schools. He'd be pretty much integrating superheroes, and Captain America is looked at in America as the top superhero. So like, when people are not going to sit well with that,
I mean, we got the whole "Make America Great Again." I mean, what the flag smashes is about? Make America, like they literally about go back and ironically, like you got a black woman leading it too. But even that conversation, which I think which you kind of skipped over, like getting more into the psyche of why the flag smashers are trying to do what they're doing, and it kind of makes sense because especially with it being led by a black woman, and she's like, think about how much we were thriving during the blip, and then now all of a sudden you got these.
Yeah, there were probably tons of jobs, tons of resources, tons of everything, and she's not wanting people to come back. And that's the same thing as
probably like half the white politicians disappear, so maybe you have more black politicians. Things like that. But then as soon as they came back, they instantly got their power. They instantly got their power back.
Exactly.
So it's like being that the flag smashers are led by not even just a black one, but you saw a whole bunch of other people of color in the flag smashers. It's like, you kind of get that perspective too. Where at first I thought it was like Make America Great Again type of people, but no, it's people of color.
But it kind of is. It's people of color, but it's the same concept. Without the skin color aspect. It's like things were better when you were not, instead of being lower. When you were not here, things were better for me. I don't really care about you. Things were better for me. And now let's go back to a time when things are better for me because I don't care about everybody or the general public. I just care about me and mine. And that's the same thing with the.
It's it's kind of the same thing Sam Wilson said in the first episode. He was like, "Well, even when things are good for one group of people, they're not going to be good for another group." So exactly. These flag smashers might have been thriving during the blip, but for a lot of other people, they weren't.
Exactly.
Like a lot of people lost their loved ones. A lot of people,
and hopefully, like the way that I know we imagine they didn't get too racist, but hopefully the way they're breaking this down, I know people won't be able to understand. I actually had an X-Men shirt on early, and I know people still don't understand, but hopefully people understand, who don't get, racism. Like this, it's the same concept, like one group of people is being treated this way for you to be get all these, benefits. No, they won't. Because like I said,
you say you hope people understand. I'm like, the X-Men been around since the 60s. You got people that will ride or die for the X-Men. They love the fucking X-Men. They understand the plight of the mutants, and they're like, yeah, mutant rights. And then they go around and be racist as hell to black people. And it's like, but like, the X-Men
because they want to be the underdog. Everybody sees themselves as the underdog, and if you're white, it's pretty hard to be the underdog.
The X-Men were a comparison to the civil rights movement. Like, how do you get the plight of the mutants, but you don't get the plight of like Black Lives Matter? Like, I don't know.
Well, because they got white mutants, and one of them looks like me.
I'm like, all right, whatever. So, but I still appreciate that perspective from the flag smashers. And so, what else happened after the therapy scene? What happened after the therapy scene?
They say what they're gonna do next. They meet up. They talk outside.
They meet up with U.S. agent and Battlecoon, and so they have that conversation. And this is where you start. This final moment is where you kind of start to see that U.S. agent, not a villain, but he's not as nice as he's been pretending to be. Because after he realizes that like trying to get Sam and Bucky on his side is not going to work, when he dropped that final, "Don't get in my way." It's like, see, it's coming out.
Exactly.
It's coming out.
He knows that them getting in his way might mess up the way he looks. Because he doesn't have Sam approvals, he doesn't want his Sam's disapproval, and because that could possibly hurt him. Yeah,
because it's all about ratings and the numbers and how he looks in the media, and things like that. So as soon as he said that, I was like, see his true color, like the Cyndi Lauper song. I see your true color shining.
And that's the difference. Like Captain Steve doesn't want to be Captain America. He just is Captain America. And Sam had that thrown upon him, and he decided, he wanted to be that for the people. John Walker wants to be Captain America because of the glitz, the glamour, the highlights. He likes that. Yeah, he likes that.
Because he sees what it can bring.
Exactly.
Not what he can bring, but what it can bring for him.
Exactly. Not what he can do for his country. What his country can do for him.
Well, so you saw that, and so I'm curious to see where they go with that. Because I mean, technically next week we're gonna be halfway through the season. Yeah. It's the halfway point because it's only 6 episodes.
So next week has to be big too.
And then you see them saying we need to talk. We need because he mentions Isaiah Bradley again, and he's like, it talks about my people. So now we got to go talk to Baron Zemo and Hydra. But I was like, but did they establish as this version of Zemo? Did he work with Hydra?
No, but his father did.
Oh, he did? I don't remember that.
He's the second Zemo. I think they established that, but he's definitely not the first Zemo. He's like the second or third Zemo or whatever.
Because I'm like, I know Zemo in the comics works with Hydra, but I'm like, I don't think they established Civil War Zemo is working with Hydra. Even
if he doesn't work with Hydra, he has all like their data, their plot lines.
Oh yeah, he did.
Like, he knows everything.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot he did. He downloaded all that stuff that Black Widow.
He programmed Bucky and all that stuff. And I think it's really interesting how even though we only have 4 episodes left, there's so many subplots. We have Batroc still out there. We have the Flag Smasher, and we have Zemo. So who's gonna? And we still have John.
We still got to deal with Isaiah
and John Walker. Like, who is U.S. Agent going to become a villain? I don't think so. but like, it's so many subplots still running. Exactly, there's still so many subplots running around.
And Dust Daughters. We also still got to deal with Sharon Carter.
Exactly,
too.
And Sharon Carter has the power too. You're right.
So we got 4 more episodes. So hopefully, I mean, granted, so far, they've been doing. I'm still just like they could have gave us more episodes this for this season. It's kind of how I feel about Invincible. I'm like, well, as thick as Invincible is, you're only doing an 8-episode season.
I don't know about Invincible, especially since it's a cartoon, but I think that Falcon and Winter Soldier has a pretty high budget because the action seems to me look pretty good. So
yeah, which I still haven't finished Invincible yet, so I need to. I'm on issue 14 of the comic.
You got the 12, and that's really all that matters. I'm pretty sure that the series is going to end at issue 12, and you got this.
Yeah, we're not going to go full on Invincible thing, but when you mentioned, it's probably going to end at the fight, I thought it was something else. There was another fight, and I was like, this fight.
There's a lot of fights.
Then I kept reading. I was like, this fight.
Yes.
But if you guys haven't checked out Invincible on Amazon Prime, definitely check that out. I haven't watched it yet because I'm trying to get through. I said I wanted to read at least 12 issues of the comic before I watch the first season because I don't think the show's going to get past the first 12 issues. But then after I read issue 12, though, I was like, I need to keep reading this shit. Like, what the?
That's how I told you this, and like I tell everybody, like the way to describe it. We're not doing the Invincible chat, but the way to describe Invincible is a Spider-Man story wrapped up in a Superman allegory.
With some blood, sex, gore, magic.
Exactly. It's so good. And I always say that because it has a beginning and an end, and because it's so good, Invincible is the best superhero story ever told. Superhero story, not comic book story, but as in terms of a superhero story, it's the best story ever written.
But if you're interested in getting the compendium, this is a compendium too. It's three. There's three compendiums. Look how thick this shit is. Look how thick it is. That's what he said. But yeah, so 3 of them. They're all, you can get them on Amazon. They're like $50 each, but they're definitely worth it.
Exactly.
If you want to check it out, it's a complete story. It's 3 compendiums, beginning, middle, and end. I'm in the middle of reading compendium 1 right now. But yeah, I just got to issue 14. I said I wanted to read the first 12 before I watch the series, and then eventually, now I'm gonna watch the series, and then I'm gonna drop my review for that. Maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna record. I'm gonna watch it tonight, and then maybe record it tonight, and then drop it tomorrow. Maybe I'll record it tomorrow. We'll see. But be on the lookout for that. But yeah, so the episode ends with you see Zemo. But yeah, definitely it is. It's like that shit is thick. It's like I was on a vacation. I think it was in the Bahamas or something like that, and I went to the beach and I read a whole compendium. That's how good it is. Like I read a whole compendium like on the beach, like probably like 3 hours, like full, like flushless. Even me sitting in the bed, like with it on my lap, I'm like, damn, I feel like this shit like compressed. I feel like I got a whole baby on my chest. This shit is
it's that good. It's that good.
But yeah, but so far it is. If you're interested in like superhero, if you read comics and things like that, so far, like I said, I'm only 14 issues in, and I would definitely recommend it. And then check out the Amazon Prime series, or check out the series first and then read the comic. Mm-hmm. If you don't want to be, you want to go in fully surprised or whatever. Yeah. So, but then you see Zemo at the end of the episode, so we're definitely gonna get to Zemo, and I'm pretty sure Sharon Carter's probably gonna show up next week as well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the only prediction I have is the power broker thing that I mentioned.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and U.S. Agent and Battlecoon getting the powers. But other than that, I don't really have like predictions or theories, or it's not like WandaVision. I feel like this show is just pretty straightforward, more or less.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't really have that. I don't really have anything.
I'm excited for the next episode. I ain't gonna say I'm excited for the next episode. I'm excited.
I'm just trying to figure out
racism, how racism can affect you even if you're a whole superhero.
That's how I was like, I'm trying to figure out what they're gonna put in next week to make me to piss me off. Maybe they might, not put in anything next week.
I got a little bit of that in the what's that show? The Boys with A-Train. I got a little bit of that, but I needed more, and I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is doing justice.
Nah, season 2 of The Boys, it hit me a little different. Like I don't know if because season 2 of The Boys came out like right at the height of like the protests and Black Lives Matter and things like that. And so seeing what's her face, Stormfront murdering a whole apartment complex of black folk and killing.
Yeah, the whole she went to the project. Yeah, I was hurt. She went to the project and started.
So because of that, I was just like, I was like, I really, like I said, it was during the height of like the protests and things like that, and like Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor. I was just watching. I was like, I'm liking this season, but I don't know if I feel like.
And that's the thing too. Like sometimes it can be mentally exhausting, either talking about it or seeing it, or like some people can't deal with it. You know, like you can't every movie or every show can't be Juice or Friday. You know.
Yeah, but like Falcon and Winter Soldier, even though I'm just like, I don't know. I'm excited to talk about it this time.
Yeah. Maybe we should give out a trigger warning or a content warning for racism next time.
Yeah, maybe. But that's pretty much all I got for the this live stream. You said you ain't had nothing else, but yeah, thank you guys for joining me on the live stream, or if you got this far on the replay, thank you so much for watching.
I appreciate you if you got this far. Yeah. And tomorrow's my birthday. If you just want to drop a happy birthday in the comments.
Oh, it is? What? Definitely hit Ron up. On Instagram. You don't read comics. Sing him a happy birthday song, or hit him up. Like I said, that Cash App is at the bottom of the.
That works too.
In the description, send them like $2. Or and why
$2?
I mean, you could the dollar menu still a thing. Like you could go. I don't know if you eat fast food.
No.
But
I'll eat the expensive fast food. Like I'll go to Shake Shack.
and I'm not a fast food person, but every so often I'll still go to McDonald's. I'll get McDonald's breakfast at least.
I used to go to McDonald's. Even though the breakfast is the part I miss the most. The McGriddles, they used to be hitting, yo. But I know it's not real food, so I can't do it.
But like egg McMuffin sandwich, egg and cheese, I do that every so often because my lazy ass don't want to cook. But yeah, we're getting it. You see, we get happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy early birthday. Happy birthday, Ron.
I appreciate
you. Birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday.
This is gonna be way more lit than my actual Instagram.
Yeah, thank you for the chat, fellas. No thanks for getting battle cool. No, we that's his name for the rest of this.
That's probably gonna stick too. Like
the rest of the season.
Even I'll probably be reading a comic with him, and I'll be like, "Oh, they go battle cool."
Yeah, like unless he does something to prove, which he not. I mean, maybe at the end of the episode.
Nah, it's too late. It'll be too late for me.
There's no redemption.
No, ain't no redemption for Coonan. Just that'd be like me forgiving Kanye West,
like Stacey Dash when she came out. And
was tried to come back, and I want to date a black man, and I want to get back in the community. And I was just really angry.
I'm like, I said this. I was like, first of all, when she said that, I'm willing to date a black man now, I was like, whoever he is, if
I'm canceling him too. I'm canceling him too.
Exactly. Cancel all, like he ain't invited to no cookouts. He can't get no like he can't even get a plate at the door. Like nah. Like I don't even care. Like maybe I'm like, you can't even sleep with her ass. Like nah, I don't want nobody dealing with her. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, hit Ron up on Instagram. You don't read comics, and send him a happy birthday tomorrow. Send him a Cash App, and that'll be the end of the stream. And I thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you guys watched the whole thing.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you. I appreciate it. I was really passionate about this one.
Yeah, and even on the replay, because I know there are some people that say that they don't like to watch lives after it's said and done because they like to participate in the chat. So, but whatever. So hopefully, for the engagement, for the algorithm. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you next week. Same gay time, same gay place, maybe, depending on what Ron got to do.
Nah, I'm on vacation for a while. I'm good. We'll be up next Friday. Yeah.
You hear that? He going on vacation. I ain't on no vacation. Where you going? You probably going like Cancun. You going to Costa Rica or some shit? Where you going?
Hit it the second time I'm going to Costa Rica.
Going to Costa Rica. Whatever.
But I ain't gonna be there that long, but my vacation just lasts a long time. Like from
Costa Rica is like one of like the number one place that I want to go to. I want to visit Costa Rica so bad, but fuck you.
Next time we out, yo. Next time we out.
I want to go to Costa Rica. Yeah, for the mother box. I need a mother box so I could go to Costa Rica. Shit. And I'm unemployed. I can't afford no plane ticket. But anyway, that's the end of the stream, guys. I need to charge my battery. You see now, like all my lights went out. This whole side is dark now. So I need to recharge. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Peace. Be on the lookout for Invincible dropping whatever.